So our memorial event kind of sealed our blood memory for that year, and there was lots of questions. Oh, are you going to go on tour? Are you going to take this, Violet? And really, as much as I call them the boys, James and Bob Ack were keen for me to do that, and Georgia, I knew where my heart lied, and that lied in my community of Leeds, in Hawksworth, and with my family, and also my community of dancers. And I didn't want to go out on tour. I didn't see that was where blood memory was going. And then that brings us to 2020, when things changed quite dramatically. Here you can see a lovely image of our dancers working very hard in one of their dance workshops. We work a lot online now, and I don't think I had ever even filmed anything and put it on YouTube or anything like that before. And then suddenly you become very aware this is life. And it continues today, and I am thankful for my participants. No, we don't get to be together, but we do share a lot of memories now from working each evening or day or workshop or whatever it might be. We've laughed, we've cried, we've certainly shared a glass of wine together. And we have grown as a community, and we've realised that we have really made something very special. Almost so special that I've got to the point where I'm going to take on a course, an online course about self-care. And this is to do with people that work a lot online and who are artists, or who are people who work with others and who give a lot. And I realise that's obviously something I have to do. I do give a lot. And here are lifelines. Lifelines are also online now. And we work from week to week. Sometimes we just sit with a big coffee and just talk and chat. Sometimes we have a little cry. There's been moments like last week, my little boy wasn't very well, so I had to sort of cut it short. We're realistic. I've got family, and that's pretty much where we're at. So lifelines are very special to me in respect to they have come such a journey with me, and they're real people. All the sessions involve us really getting to know each other as individuals. And what's beautiful is we do have people who have disabilities, and they actually say to me, I don't feel I have a disability in Lifelines. And I think, wow, that's pretty powerful, because we don't want to single anyone out. And I feel that that's a really beautiful thing to have. So where's blood memory now? It's here somewhere. It's in here a lot. I can't wait to get back into schools and start working with kids again. I can't wait to start creating. Alongside working with blood memory and online and things like that, I have continued my role in Ascendance, which was my first role I did when I was a college leaver from the Northern School, going way back in 2000, when I joined the company and toured and worked as an artistic director. And I'm now working for Rachel again with Ascendance, with Parkinson's, working with people with Parkinson's and helping them to improve their lives through movement and dance. And we've obviously become online as well. So it's all about screens. And I know, obviously, I've thrown a lot at you. I'm sure there's some things. I'm just going to come back now. I got lost in my photos. Coming back, I'm going to say this straight away. So this is for Michelle D. How long was the piece, Violet? And how long was the rehearsal schedule for the community dancers? I learned a lot, do you know, Michelle? I set a 10 sessions. It went on forever. And my poor, let's say, the more mature ladies and gents really struggled, but they absolutely loved it. The younger people were just absolutely fantastic. They worked for 10 weeks as well, and I worked with 53 reception children in that piece. And obviously we couldn't have them all at the same time, so we had two casts. It was quite incredible. And the piece Violet lasted for probably about 20 minutes in length, the actual professional work, which was an R&D. It was a research and development. But it was the stepping stones for obviously counting planes and everything else. And even to actually, in 2020, at the beginning of this year, I keep forgetting, International Women's Day, day, Violet and all her crew, as I call them, turned up. And we did this amazing storytelling. And Georgia came with her saxophone and her keyboard, and we did this incredible setup. And I know that a few members here came and helped in the community, my community dancers. And we put on like a little event. It was lovely. We had scones and, you know, and spam and other things. So how long was Violet? It just feels like it's going to carry on. And Violet, bless her heart, is now 95. So, and going strong, very strong.
With all the classes that you're doing online, have you thought of creating any work? Or is that just too mind-blowing to get our heads around at this moment?
Not at all, Kina. And actually, with Lifelines, we've touched on starting points. We were going to do an online musical, and everyone had the little role of what they needed to do. But then it came to people's commitment and things like that, so it hasn't actually worked. But with my technical kind of classes, my daily sessions that I run, like I've got one tonight at 8:00, I always do a little creative task, and I'm getting to the point where I want to do more. And I've been watching quite a lot of the artists who have obviously sought the funding from the Arts Council to do something online, which I didn't, because I didn't feel that at that point I was actually in that state of need like some of those other artists, because all these wonderful people were attending my classes. And I thought, well, this is what the demand is at the moment. This is where my life needs to be. I don't have time to write an application and do that. So I think we've discussed things about, I'd love, because I was supposed to return to Bilton Grange this year. I would love to do something with a community of people, not dancers, but people who are hungry for something, and go in with a great theme and idea and fly with it, really. I'm just going to come back. Is that okay, Kina?
Yeah, that's great.
Lovely. I'm just going to come back. Michelle's back to me again. What was the audience response in the... Oh, my goodness. Were there dance familiar audience? Many people I find are surprised at the way stories can be told through dance. Honestly, I've got so much feedback. I'm one of those people that walks around with a book with ascendant with my blood memory poster on the front and say, would you mind giving me some feedback? You seem to really enjoy the show. And I've got so many incredible things that people said. They were surprised. They were completely in awe of when we used that space and how we brought that history to life, how we managed to, even just the people performing, the cast, if you think of the very young children and some of the quite frail elderly people. We had a lady with dementia, and she was on stage with me at the time, and she didn't know where she was, but I took her by the hand and I said, come on, Margaret, we're there to perform. And she just started performing, and that was that. And that was Margaret, and a fantastic lady. And I think the dance, I would have said they were familiar with, let's say, performance, maybe more entertainment. But when we showed them, we had Georgia on the saxophone with Boback, and then, James was doing the swing dance with me inside that kind of amazing ruins. That's never been seen before in Kirkstall Abbey. I think that was quite a big shock for some people.
The setting looks marvellous. It looks really, really good. It must have been quite a difficult setting to work with, was it?
Yeah, obviously a couple of times now, Michelle, I've worked on, we did Journey Through Time, which was much more about the period of the monks and going through Journey Through Time. But when we did Violet there, we'd rehearsed it as a space. We hadn't taken into consideration the incredible heritage of that. And I felt like I went on such a massive learning curve as the choreographer from when I did Violet as we'll just jump into this space now. We had to get through so many thousands of people, and it was the hottest day of the year, and we were carrying massive speakers and, you know, all these incredible things you don't even think about through all these thousands of people who were just looking at stalls or, you know, watching sideshows or things like that. And we were like, no, we're here to perform. And then when we turned up, there was a massive orchestra there, so they all had to clear out in order for us to go in. But once we were in there, it was just an out-of-body experience to perform for me. So I don't know what that must have felt like for those participants. It really blew some of their minds. They still talk about it today when I'm in the community. I always get stopped in the street by people. It's really imprinted in a good, positive way. I've already been approached actually to do something next year because everyone's aware of how little social interaction we've had. They went, Emma, we need a big shebang. We need you here in the community. I'm like, okay, I need some help. But yeah,